And now, Splunk's Cybersecurity 60-second charity challenge. Remember the rules. You've got to get through an entire subject in 60 seconds, or you donate to today's charity of choice. Good luck! And for those of you who've joined late, Mick, who is our charity of choice today?
So our charity is She Should Run. It's a 501 that basically encourages the number of women considering a run for public office. So if you ever considered that, ever thought about that, or ever wanted to push one of your friends into it, give them a look.
There we go. I mean, Jen Easterly not elected into public office, but she's making a world of change as a senior government official. So super important place there. Let's see. I believe, didn't I win last time? I think
Depends who votes. Depends who votes. All right.
vote.
So it's been working out.
Someday we'll let you run for office too in this Augusta body. But for right now, you're just our voter, Audra. I believe I did win. I'll be very honest. I've had a busy morning. I haven't done the normal prep I do of having a nice script written out under 60 seconds. So I'm going to dodge and I'm going to Uno card. Mick, you get to go first.
Okay. So if I was Jen Easterly for a day, what would I do? The same way I would change any institutional monolith or generational force that places one group above another. I would ask a middle-aged guy how to make those decisions, likely has no base in understanding. So I was going to talk about the Equal Rights Amendment, but none of us could really figure out whether it was an actual amendment because our legal system is that complicated. Turns out, no. But there was a decision by late Justice Bader Ginsburg that in late 96 it said basically what the amendment would have. Gender discrimination is unconstitutional. So if everyone looks like you, you're doing it wrong. Women's Society of Cyberjitsu, Black Girls Hack, Diana Initiative. These are all growing numbers of groups that can use federal funding, so let's give it to them. Since corporations are people too, let's give them some of that incentive to put more women in the workforce. So to paraphrase the great Northeast American poet Christopher George Latour Wallace, give me the loot.
Wow. Great timing.
You went from Equal Rights Amendment to Master Lyricist to Jen E. That was fire. I give you that.
It's not the point of the story. It's the journey getting there, right?
That's all in 60 seconds.
There we go. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Drew? Okay, I think for many of the people who know me in the world, something I've done quite a bit of over the last 10 years as I've rose in the ranks of cybersecurity and having more responsibility is advocate for more women in cybersecurity. Very selfishly, is because I believe that having less people who look just like me means we will not have the same amount of groupthink, which means we defend better. There's been tons and tons of actual stories proven on this. I've also seen workspaces improve with greater gender and race equality across the board, where everyone just doesn't look like a middle-aged white guy who served in the Navy. Hey, Mick, how you doing? But the idea here is that more people of different backgrounds in an organization makes a huge difference. No one's denying that. How I would affect change is immediately looking at pools of people who are not in the traditional pipelines. People initially turn to the same places you came from, the military, computer science degrees, all sorts of places like that. I think there's a huge untapped lake of potential in the humanities and areas where people do significant amount of analysis, but they just have to be taught the terms and tools to do cyber. And that's where I would go to expand.
Wow. Really good. And I guess I just need to weigh into this because my background is not cybersecurity. So as you
it
said,
isn't? Weird.
No,
What?
I mean, you hired me. So hopefully you knew that. But yeah, my background's in journalism. So, transitioning into this new career, I was grateful to have an opportunity to come on without those really strict requirements that you see maybe with other job postings. So I would agree that that's one of a good way to try to diversify your applicant pool is by reaching beyond the typical pipelines to hiring in cybersecurity. So I know you're both eagerly waiting to find out who won.
I think there's only one real winner this time.
I think we already know the winner is.
No.
Well, Ryan hired me. Just kidding.
I mean, proof is in the pudding there. How am I affecting change, Mick? With the people I hire. What have you done this week?
Well, I'm proposing legislation that would incentivize that hiring process for corporations globally.
Explain an amendment.
I don't know how amendments work. Like, I watched that Schoolhouse Rock thing once a long time ago, and I know it sits around for a long time on Capitol Hill, and that's it.
Yeah, actually, the Equal Rights Amendment started as Mitch McConnell. That's how long
50
it's
years
been there
ago,
for.
that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yep. Once you start getting into the double-digit amendments, it's hard to keep track for me. Maybe I shouldn't acknowledge that, but anyway. Winner of the challenge, I would say, Ryan, I'm going to go with you just because I really believe in hiring people that maybe don't have the skills yet, but have a desire to learn. I think there's a huge pool of untapped
As
talent.
your boss, it pains me to say this, but it was in
But I
fact
did pick
Nick.
wrong. Was it Mick?
I
No,
would like the
it's
folks
in
in the
terms of
comments, who do you think won?
the format of the show. I think Mick actually won.
Well, okay. Drew says Mick got robbed. Adam says
I don't know. Folks in the comments, what do you think? There are no losers here. Only, Ryan forging everyone's MBOs and signing our paychecks. So really, I guess we're all losers except Ryan.
It's good to be king.
Very good.